Ba weep grana weep ninny bong. Yes, I have watched the '86 movie. Surprise, surprise. But you remember this piece of crap? Preferably you don't. But if you do, now there's even more of a reason to forget it. Because they made a studio figure out of it. So here is the packaging on the Exosuit Spike Witwicky from the movie. Spike and Bumblebee up on Moonbase 2. See, I can make random Transformer references too. Not just Beast Wars. So there's a picture of Spike. Is this thing Spike or Daniel? It's certainly not Sparkplug. But it is definitely sitting on a toilet. Actually, it's neither of them. It's just, oh god, white balance. It's just that face. That robot face that looks horrified at what it is. And I agree with it. Alright. So there's another picture of Spike. Picture of Spike up close. And pictures of Spike and what he transforms into. Which is a crumpled up version of Spike. So here is Exosuit Spike Witwicky. And this toy is actually much better than I could have ever imagined it would be. Just on the basis of this. So, yes, appears in the movie. Spike and Bumblebee. And then his son, Daniel, is riding with Hot Rod. But Spike actually started all the way at the start of the cartoon in 1984 as the son of Sparkplug Witwicky, working in an auto body shop. And apparently he would go on to do diplomatic stuff, like diplomacy between the Transformers and the governments of Earth. At least in the G1 continuity. He is basically the same Spike that is in the animated continuity, only slight changes to a backstory, but essentially the same character. And hilariously, the inspiration for Sam Witwicky in the live-action movies. Yes, Mr. Frickin' fucking Shia LaBeouf. They didn't name him Spike, but they ended up giving the name Spike Witwicky to like a random generic Autobot in the live-action continuity. But yes, Sam Witwicky's inspired completely from Spike Witwicky. The whole befriending Bumblebee thing. It tends to run in the family. What doesn't run in the family is a brain. Or the back of a head. Because this toy doesn't have one. Which is utterly hilarious because there's so many jokes I could come up with. Let's get some proper toy reviewing. This is essentially an exosuit. The only thing that lets him breathe in space. And it's a transformable exosuit, as we'll see. And it loves to fuck with my white balance. Just also that face looks like it's been messed with in unimaginable ways. This is a cute little figure. If cute is the right word. I don't know. Like, it's kind of charming in a harmless way. Because, it's just more 1986 sort of mise-en-scène that happened to have a scene in the movie. And at this point, Hasbro and Takara are just taking anything at all that appeared in the 1986 film and giving it an action figure. Can we get a figure of robot that goes bzz, time out, time out, time out? That had a practice duel with Hot Rod? Maybe he's next for Legacy Wave 3 or whatever. Or the judge, not the freaking five-headed thing, the Quintesson. Not that guy, but like the lower guy in the court that kept saying guilty or innocent. Does this thing have a waist swivel? It does not. Okay. Should we actually talk about the toy? I don't know. The toy is just used to talk the 1986 movie. It's on YouTube in full 90-minute glory without the UK prologue, because it's apparently the US version didn't get the there's an evil new force in the galaxy. You know, this toy, it's not terrible. I, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's somewhere in the middle. You want to talk about one thing? That I don't know who the fuck that is, but that's definitely not Spike. They claim it's Spike, but he doesn't. He just has the vague shape of a human head, like he just walked off a train set and into an exosuit. Yeah. Wish they'd done more. Give him some eyes. Give him some personality. Because frankly, he could be a zombie in there for all I know, or just a lifeless body. Maybe the exosuit. Maybe the eyes are the actual brains of the exosuit, and the human's just there to look fancy. Straight out of a horror movie. I don't want to say human centipede, but oh, no, I've said it. One nitpick of mine, I really don't like the placement of the arms. They look really lame, just stock still, like, I can't put down my arms. Like the permanently 90-degree, like, permanently doing this. Permanently doing this. Not cool. Even when you bend his elbow back, it doesn't look right. It looks like his elbow's broken. Well, that's a tiny nitpick, really. The rest of them, fairly solid, fairly kibble free. I like the attention to mold in the thrusters there. Wish they'd molded in the back of his head. Anyway, articulation wise, his head moves. If you move this white slider bit, his head moves side to side so we can actually look around. I find this hilarious. That's actually a step of transformation. Rotate the cone head, not those cone heads, not the 1985 cone heads, but rotate this bit 360, and the instructions say put it right there to block his head access. He does have universal shoulders, but they do end up banging into his skirt a bit, so you don't get full motion, but pretty close to it. You do get a hinge at the shoulder with lots of range, an elbow bend, which looks bad unless it's right here. That's the only sort of natural looking position his arm can actually go to. Hilariously, that's on the instructions, that he can pose like that. And he actually can. You know, if it's worth anything, I guess he's saluting Optimus Prime. And both his arm piece and his other arm piece are on swivels. No waist joint, which means the artwork lied to me. He can't swivel at the waist. How dare they? How dare they ruin Jobby's minute, maybe? How dare they ruin Swivel Man's day? Hips, ball jointed, very nice. Full range. You do get a ball joint in the knee, along with a hinge. That'll be for transformation. Gives you a knee or a thigh swivel, and nothing at the foot. So, overall articulation is very not bad. He is fairly dynamic. The ball joints in his legs kind of give him quite a bit of range to look goofy. And sometimes you just want to look goofy. I'm not opposed to looking goofy. I quite often make myself into a fool. So I can feel you there, buddy. The only accessory, shall we say, are these effect parts, which I wish he had like a. I get why he doesn't have an actual weapon, because movie accuracy and he didn't use a weapon. But you can pretend that he just rotated his fist around and broke his forearm or whatever. Mind you, his arms aren't actually these robot arms. If anything, his body is like right here, and his arms are probably like stuck in there, and his legs are like there. So he's just operating the arms and legs, probably with like a control panel or something, like a control stick. Like here, this is how I'm controlling the exosuit. Or this is how in the 1986 movie they've progressed to the year 2005. They had video game controllers like this at that point in 2005. Not quite as advanced as that one, but rudimentary enough that that's probably how he's operating the suit. It's not the suit is like covering his body 1-to-1. It's not, the suit isn't the same size as him. Is at least what I imagine. Because this also isn't the only time Hasbro and Takara have tried to do an articulated version of this. Because they did a Masterpiece one for Masterpiece Bumblebee 1.0, and that thing was kind of a piece of crap. So, hilariously, this thing's actually better than a Masterpiece. But you can make it look like he's, I guess, using these as flamethrowers? Something. He's probably not shooting anything. He's probably like trying to fix a wire or a pipe or something. More practical than just being guns. But inevitably, I guess, we have to talk about his transformation and his vehicle mode. So slide that. You want to take the wheels, rotate them all the way like this, and then rotate the panel, or rotate that, and you're just going to want to bring it back. It's going to latch in like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Rotate, rotate, make sure it's in securely. Okay, and then you want to rotate the shins, fold the hips down, and fold the ball joint back, down, and back, and plug the legs in together. Make sure everything's nice and tight as it can be. And there's your alt mode, I guess. There. Okay, it's nothing more than an excuse to actually escape the movie scenario, because Unicron was attacking Moonbase 2 and Bumblebee and Spike had to get away quickly. So the exosuit has basically a conversion into like a driving mode, like a getaway mode. Like its speed. It's not technically a vehicle. I don't think you could classify it as a vehicle. Well, it does have 4 wheels. that roll fairly decently. The back ones roll a bit better than the front ones. Oh, I even mentioned it's got an SKU on it. Nice. Oh, he's number hashtag F3147. No, 42. You got that wrong. Yeah, it's. I barely am willing to call it a mode. It's just, it's a crumpled suit designed to get away quicker. Oh wait. Oh no, I did it. I actually did it wrong. The hands are supposed to go this way. There we go. Now it's better. Now it's better. It's also got a Tamashi port on its back. I guess for dynamic flying poses and things. And in this mode, these things make a bit more sense because he's trying to get away really fast, so they're rocket propulsion in this. Like, that actually makes a bit more sense. Mind you, I still find this thing absolutely hilarious. And I don't even have a Bumblebee to pair him with. I have Age of Extinction Bumblebee and like a Legends class Bumblebee, but nothing that actually scales properly. Because I never got the Netflix Bumblebee. I was kind of sick of that cliff jumper hubcap mold. It's been used so often now because it's coming out again. I didn't even talk about this in the reveals video I uploaded a day or two ago. But they're doing another 4-pack with a repaint of that Bumblebee mold into Goldbug. Along with, I think it was a Skywasp, a toy accurate deco of Scorponok, and one of the deluxe Insecticons. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it starts with an R. And like, that mold has gotten, frankly, way too many uses, and I wanted a Cliff Jumper, I wanted Hubcap. Those are the two characters I wanted out from, so I'm gonna have to figure out another way to actually, get a in-scale Bumblebee. Or, I can just ignore that thought and just sit him on top of Slug. Like I had this guy. I could probably find a way to, sit him down there that doesn't make him look as awkward as this. I still don't get the point of this. If they intended to make this the whole time, why did you... Could you have just please, like, removed it and given us a sword? Packed in a sword with Slug? Whatever. I didn't even comment on the colors. I don't really have a particular feeling towards white and, like, not pastel. This kind of feels like a pastel blue. Like a really dull blue. Almost seafoam. No, wait, seafoam is green. Again, I don't know what color this is, but even the fists are technically a different shade of blue. And I'm rambling to get this video up to 20 minutes, even though I wanted this video to be 10 minutes. Because small toy, small video, but... do I recommend this thing? If you're a fan of the 86 movie and want to recreate the Spike and Bumblebee on Moonbase 2 thing, Jeff, we're not getting away. Oh no, that was Moonbase 1. But hey, if you want to recreate a scene from the movie, chuck $10 maybe. It's kind of worth it. But if you don't care about the movie, then there's no real reason to care about this thing, because it never showed up again. Actually, that's not 100% true. The most hilarious thing I think about Spike, he became a headmaster for Fortress Maximus, aka the big ass Autobot city. had Spike as a headmaster in like a modified exosuit to turn him into a head. That takes the cake right there. As just baffling things they had Spike Witwicky do. So I'll leave on that little note. Thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. And I would say this thing's pretty mid. Not great, not terrible. Just kind of. Yeah. It even has a copyright for last year on it. Talking about how long this thing's been in production. Or just Hasbro's poor release schedule. But, yeah. Until next time, I might not be able to handle it right now, but at least I won't die preventing Galvatron from getting the Matrix. Keep it weird.